Hello and welcome back. I am Arumba. Thank you for joining me. Let's play some more of our EU4, the tutorial series with FilthyRobot. How's it going, Filthy?
Doing well, man. How about yourself?
Pretty good. Good. Couple things that I noticed between episodes here. On the outliner, you'll notice that we have had some progress towards the Leinster Separatists. So we've rolled some bad rolls there. 20%. Tyrone has still 0%. Notice how Tyrone's also going to take much longer because we have less unrest in Tyrone because our army is standing there at full maintenance. So the unrest is being reduced by our army.
Okay.
At a maximum of 0.25 unrest per regiment at full morale. 15.
Yeah, I won't remember that, but that's okay.
Yeah, it's fine. Just look at the number that shows up on the army thing. So here's what I'm thinking. If you press F1 and then 4, and you look at our economy, we're projected to go negative, which means that we have 2.05 ducats in the actual treasury, which if you hover over the very, very top left indicator, it says treasury. 2.05 is the actual treasury. In order to see the decimals, you actually have to hover over it.
It's fine.
So there's a disparity here, right? The treasury, as you hover over it, is the actual results from last month. The number that you see on the economy tab is the projection. It may or may not actually be this. Things like loot from privateering, loot from provincial raiding and stuff like that doesn't get predicted because it's not reliable. So the actual monthly income could be different from what the ledger or from what the economy tab predicted. In this case, though, everything is pretty reasonable to expect is going to be true. So we're actually going to take a loan next month. Let's see if we can avoid that by temporarily reducing our maintenance. I know we want full maintenance. I know. But we're declaring war next month anyway. And so let's just see if we can avoid the
well, what if we didn't do that? What if could we do it maybe from, because we don't need much, right? I mean, if we can be 0 and be okay. So we need very, very little reduction here, right?
Right, well, we can stop rooting out corruption is one
That's what I was getting at. Maybe we could do that one.
But that's not really enough. We could do that and lower maintenance by a little bit. But I would definitely try to avoid this loan. Yeah. Let's get the maintenance slider down to like here. And here's the thing. If we do this, we are reducing the maximum amount of morale that our troops can get up to. But because we have such a high total morale damage, total morale number, when we go and we fight the army in Sligo, if we raise the maintenance all the way to full again during the month that we do the combat, we will still inflict maximum morale damage based on our max morale number. The actual morale the armies will go into battle with won't be at the full amount. It'll be at like 60-70%. But that doesn't matter because it's still going to be enough to kick their ass.
Okay.
So we're going to avoid hopefully taking a loan here, and then we'll immediately be able to lower maintenance next month. That's the plan.
And we should be able to get to this. I mean, we were just waiting on morale, right?
Yep.
Or we were waiting on something else.
Nope,
we were just waiting on morale, right?
This is what we're doing. Yep, we're declaring war in like 8 days. But we do want to have a diplomat available, so let's bring the diplomat back from England.
Okay. Let me just grab that one.
Nope.
Spy network in England. Right-click him. Okay.
By the way, the rebels that we've supported in England are now at 80%. I'm very highly annoyed that this is hidden in this goddamn tooltip.
Kind of feels like it should be on the main screen here on the
the outliner. That would be crazy though, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would be nice.
it's not like I directly exactly suggested that in one of my my adjustment videos or anything. But no. You have to select the country and then hover over this one obscure part of the actual interface to be able to find this number. It's not relevant or anything, so it's not important. Let's just hide it there.
No bitterness.
No, I'm not bitter about it. So anyway, let's go till
we'll give ice cream to you as well as our troops.
Damn straight, I need ice cream. Yeah. Okay, so we're like half a year away from having our boats done. Okay, it's on September 1st. We have our diplomat free.
We have 0.07 ducats in our treasury.
Fantastic. That's all we really need. Let's go ahead and declare the war.
Positive money, boys.
Go ahead and declare the war on Sligo.
All right. So right-click, go to
Now, here's the thing,
top.
though.
Yep.
We've actually earned some favors over the last few years. You'll notice that things look different now.
I don't. Where do I see the favor stuff that you're talking about?
When you right-click on Sligo and you're looking at the Declare War interface, we have the CB, Conquest, take Sligo, call allies. Notice we have some provinces that we can call in. We've got Thomond, Clanricarde. We could call them in on a promise of territory. Actually, this hasn't changed. My mistake. But we're not going to do this. We're not going to call them in because we don't want to promise them any territory.
Right.
So, yeah, just declare war.
But it says no casus belli, and I feel like we ought to have one here. Don't we have a claim?
We do. Are you looking at the right nation?
Let's take a look. Sligo. Scotland declare war on Sligo. Okay. You are not 100% army maintenance. Casus belli. Oh, this is a casus belli for conquest.
Yep.
Okay. So the no casus belli on. So what I'm seeing is I'm seeing a red X with a no casus belli right above the call allies portion of that?
Right. That's
what is
that's if you actually wanted to declare using no casus belli. That's stupid. Never do that.
I got it.
Yeah.
So that's not. I thought it was warning me that I didn't have it. But this is actually something I wanted to set option.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's so strange. I would never in 100 years even click that button. I didn't even know that was a button. But it's interesting how your eyes picked it out. But yeah, I can see why you'd be confused by that.
This.
Yep. Declare Sligo. Okay.
Rip.
Now here's the thing. Again, talking about combat. We went into pretty good detail on combat the last time we declared when we attacked Tyrone. We're going to raise our maintenance to full, and we're going to immediately engage in combat. And the reason why we're going to raise our maintenance to full is, again, your maximum morale determines the amount of morale damage you do, not your current morale. Meaning that...
Sneaky.
Meaning that if we kept our morale bar as at the number that it is right now, even though nothing's actually changed, our army's exact same morale as it was a second ago, we would inflict less damage in combat.
That's silly.
It is and it isn't. It's just 90 times out of 100, 99 times in fact, you should be about 100% morale when you're at war. But these are the little details that I've picked up over the years. So we're at war. Go ahead and go kill him.
Okay.
I've pulled our navy out, send it to blockade. The transports are going to help blockade in Donegal Bay.
You've done that? So you didn't touch our privateering navy, just our transport navy, right? Okay.
Nope. And I didn't mention it, but I docked them up and mothballed them, so we spent a little bit less money on them while they were hanging out in Inverness. I unmothballed them. Notice how they only have 80% hull strength. It's because they've been mothballed for 2 months. But every month they're mothballed, they lose 10% of their strength, down to a minimum of 25. They're still more than strong enough to handle that one other transport.
Will they regain their hull strength while they're out and about now, or no?
No, they'll recover at 10% per month as long as they're in a province. They're docked. So they're not going to recover, but it doesn't matter. They can be at 1% hull strength and still do the task of blockading.
Okay.
So they're more than strong enough to handle his navy, and we just don't care. We don't even need transports right now. Technically, we could get rid of them if we wanted to, but
it's good. I mean, the blockade would make the rolls in the fort go quicker. So
right. What I mean to say is that transports, specifically as a ship type, we don't need right this second. Over the next 30 years, the countries we're going to be fighting are all in Ireland or they are England. That's it. So transports aren't really necessary. What we could do is
sneak back Norway.
True, but then we'd have to fight Denmark and Sweden.
Yeah.
Because Norway,
just for our Norwegian viewers who are quite annoyed with us for our first couple episodes.
Yeah, exactly.
We could just put up the flag of their transports. Okay. Anyways, moving on.
So we already have our leader in charge. He's just been hanging out there anyway. Let's go ahead and slow the game down and take a look at this.
Enemy.
So Wallace Randolph has just rolled a 0 in the first fire phase. Do you remember? Yeah, I'm just going to assume you do. Fire first, then shock. So,
0 is a really strong roll.
Yeah. Quick recap. The first 2, you cannot retreat until you've had a fire phase, then a shock phase, then a fire phase, then a shock phase. Okay? And again, our infantry are flanking. We actually sent more than enough men to do this, so we should be doing very well, and we just rolled back-to-back 0s. Yay! That's a 1 in 100 chance.
Remember how lucky I am?
Yeah, good job. I don't like you anymore. There's an 8 in the fire.
8, that's nice.
Would have much rather had the 8 in the shock phase there. So anyway, we've already won that battle. Took us 15 days. Let's lower maintenance to 0.
Okay, let me do that real quick.
I just did.
You did it already. Oh, you sneaky. All right.
Now let's try to pull off most of these troops. I'm gonna let you do this, okay? So grab the army. There's 2 ways to do it. You can either grab the army and then press the create new unit button, or you can just press B to access the interface.
Okay.
And you want to leave how many troops? See if you can figure it out.
I've forgotten already how to do this. So it's something to do with there's a minimum number needed for sieging, but I don't recall what that minimum number is, and I don't remember if it's a multiplier of their garrison strength or not. I think it was last time it was 3,000, but I don't remember why it was 3,000.
Click on the province.
Okay.
You'll see the siege of Sligo.
It's 1,000 garrison.
1,000
so
garrison.
Just 3 times that, and we have to worry a little bit about the fact that we're going to take some attrition. So if we left 4K people, that's more than enough.
Yep. Should you leave infantry or cavalry?
Infantry for some reason, but I don't recall why.
It's good. You know all the reasons. You know all the right answers. You just don't necessarily have it all cataloged as the specific reasoning why. The reason why is that cavalry cost more money. They're 25 ducats versus 10 ducats for an infantry. So if you suffer attrition on a cavalry, you pay more to reinforce a cavalry than you pay to reinforce an infantry.
And there was some reason too why you wanted me to leave last time you wanted me to leave the wounded ones because we were going to go fight another army. We're not going to go fight another army right now. So there's no reason to lose the wounded ones. To leave the wounded ones.
Well, I would still probably leave the most wounded ones because we're going to be at 0 maintenance. We don't want to reinforce, and we don't necessarily want to reinforce our troops to full strength while we're at peace, once this war's over, because you pay maintenance on the total number of men you have in the regiments. So a damaged regiment at 0 maintenance is less expensive to maintain than a fully reinforced regiment at 0 maintenance. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but I zoned out midway through it, so say it again. Not kidding, sorry.
We actually want, if we're going to suffer the attrition anyway, we would rather it be on the damaged regiments so that we have fewer, whatever, just do whatever you want. Just pick 4 infantry. No big deal.
No, but I do actually do want, you've explained it, then you did like halfway through explaining it again. So finish that explanation up. So I have picked the wounded infantry, and I remember that was why we did that. I thought last time it was based on fighting someone else, but basically there's going to be less maintenance associated with this. Why?
We're going to be like slowing down the speed that we recover the troops, so that as long as we're at peace and we stay at low maintenance, we're going to have lower overall maintenance costs than if we were to try to let our army reinforce to full strength. We're just trying to min-max a little bit of our income, because we are we're literally, we have 0.07 ducats in the bank.
That's right. Someone's cut that last ducat really fine.
Yeah. Now, the good news is that when we leave these troops here, we are going to be drawing a little bit of loot, but we don't want to keep the bulk of the army there because they will suffer attrition. So
have I cut this too fine with 3.3? That was the 4 wounded regiments.
Nope, because a disease outbreak with 4 regiments would cost us 5% of 4,000, which would be 200 men. So that's plenty.
Okay, so then I grab, let me just see if I can do this. Where is our actual armies? Oh, our friggin' diplomat's being lazy again. All right, where's he going?
Well, we just
do the armies first.
He's not being lazy. We just used him to declare the war to him.
Yeah, I know, but we should immediately send him off. He's being lazy for like 10 seconds now.
Kind of, but remember, most things that you can have him do pulse on a monthly tick. So whether he goes there today or 15 days ago, it makes no difference. He won't actually do his job until October the 1st.
What do I do with the larger army?
I'll move to Tyrone.
Okay. And then the smaller army is auto-sieging right now, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, got it.
There's no reason to leave the general in charge. It's worth noting on that split interface, the army where the screen where you were changing the army balance.
Yeah, that was B, right?
Yep, the left side of the screen is the side that's going to retain the general. The right side, the new army, will not have the general.
That was just the rawest chance then that I got that correct. Because I moved from the larger and I put 4 into the smaller army on the right-hand side. So
yep, okay. So you got lucky. But since our leader has no siege value, there's 0 reason to leave him in charge of the siege. All of it would do is increase his chance of dying, and that would be bad, because we like him, because he's very good. If, on the other hand...
that good, wasn't he just kind of okay? Like, the movement stuff didn't seem quite as good.
He's a 225. I mean, at this point in the game, with really garbage army tradition, any general with 2 shock in the early game, I would be pretty happy with. The fact that he's got 9 overall pips is freaking amazing for the amount of tradition we had when we rolled him. That was where I said you were lucky, and it's a pretty good general. I mean, I'm happy with him. I'm not going to complain.
I didn't like the movement stuff all that much. It didn't seem as powerful as the shock or the whatever the other one was.
Well, shock would be preferential. If we could turn him into a 252, I would love that. The best thing for us right now would be literally a 064 if we had 9 pips. But
I got distracted while you were talking, and we're lucky because we just had another maintenance tick for our treasury, and we're actually positive, but we're only barely positive. So we could have been barely negative, and I wouldn't have noticed. Were you paying attention to that? We might have triggered a loan.
No, we didn't. We were projected to make positive money.
Oh, we were. Okay.
Yeah. So we gained spoils of war, and we're fine. We got spoils of war, and we looted. Ulster is the little guy that we've been having military access through. So he's going to probably cancel our military access because he's now a vassal under England.
Yeah.
So what just happened there is he is so weak and so tiny compared to England, and England has buddied up with him. He's improved relations. He allied him. He said, hey, I'm your friend. And then he said, hey, do you want to become part of my country? And so he's vassalized him peacefully, which means that he is a subject underneath England and will participate in all of England's wars and is functionally a minion of England now. More so than an ally. An ally is kind of like a minion, but you can't really guarantee they do what you want. A vassal is almost always going to do what you want. The only circumstance where a subject would not do what you want is if they have high liberty desire. And since he just accepted the vassalization peacefully, he has no reason to want to be peaceful, to have liberty. So anyway, long story short, yeah. By the way, I didn't get a pop-up. Did you?
About what?
You notice there's a new army in England.
No, I didn't get any freaking pop-ups. I do see now. Now I can see this. We have sight on it too. Why do we have sight on it?
Notice how it's blue?
Yeah.
Because we're allied to it.
We did get nothing for power projection, right?
Yeah, and I'm highly, highly annoyed by this. But
That's just 127 wasted ducats then, huh?
Yep.
Whatever the hell it was.
Well, it's not wasted. There's 27,000 troops in that province. They were probably going to be about that size anyway, but we're allied to them now, which is good, I guess.
Okay.
Seems like it may have been a better option to support some of the actual separatists in this case.
All right.
Oh well. I was expecting that we were going to get a ton of power projection because we spent 120 ducats. I was hoping we'd be at like 60.
Fair, will this event only have triggered on the 1st of the month?
The rebellion?
The rebels?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, so then we have probably passed the point where we're quite sure we're not getting anything out of it then. That's a bummer. All right.
Yep. Looks like they've just arrived there. I mean, they just started the siege.
Okay.
But the thing that I'm annoyed by too is that we didn't even get a pop-up saying your rebels have spawned. Like, for crying out loud. Like, we spent all this money. Tell us your war plans, you idiots. Stupid peasants.
Stupid peasants. Oh, pop up. All right, let's pause this real quick. I got it first. Okay.
I'm quick.
The breaking of the Douglases.
Okay.
Oh
man.
I'm gonna have to read this because the immediate thing didn't make sense.
Feel free to read it out loud if you want. I mean, a lot of times I do because the event text is usually pretty big.
All right. In 1449, the King James II was old enough to marry and reclaim control of his kingdom. He immediately seized the Livingston estates, but was a bit more lenient against the Douglases. In a quarrel in 1452, however, he himself stabbed William, 8th Earl of Douglas, to death. Historically, this was the end of the power of the Douglas family, and 3 years later, all their land was confiscated and their castles demolished. We have the options to destroy the castles and confiscate the lands of the Douglases, which would gain 36 ducats and 50 administrative power. But 18 noble regiments rise up in revolt in Ayrshire if we do that, which seems like a hell of a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Or we can make peace with the Douglas family by losing 5 prestige and gaining 1 stability.
Okay. So this is we have to actually change some of these numbers. The first number you said was we gain money and what else was it?
Power.
Money and 50 points?
Yeah, well, administrative power points, which okay.
The stability can be broken down into monarch points if you look at the cost that it would. How much would it cost us to bump stability up? So press F1 and then 9, go to stability and expansion tab.
Okay.
Do not click this because there's no confirmation dialog. It's just an instantaneous thing. If we were to click boost on stability right now,
yeah,
stability is a number that ranges from -3 to +3. It would cost us 110 points.
Yeah.
So that stability is worth 110 versus 50 in the other event decision. Okay. The money is kind of appealing right this exact moment, but I would probably not want to fight
the thing
those
is,
rebels.
Yeah, I was going to say 18 regiments seems like quite a lot compared to our army score.
Now, we do have an option. We could turn our fort on in Lothian. Having the fort on in Lothian would project a zone of control in every adjacent province, which means that the province of Ayrshire would be safe from any effects that the rebels could apply to it when they win their siege. When they finish the siege of Ayrshire, which would take 1 month, they would then have to go move to Lothian and then siege down a level 3 coastal fort, which would take them at least a year, if not 2. So we could potentially have a couple years to prepare to deal with that rebellion. We have very high manpower, so we could afford to deal with it. The question is, do we really want to spend our time and effort and money on that right now? Or do we want to just take the free stability?
Yeah, and stability seems not... I mean, I guess I don't remember exactly what stability does. What does stability do for us?
On that same screen where we were just at, the F19, hover over the 0, and it'll tell you each level of stability is multiplied by the following. Each level of positive stability has the following effects. -1 unrest, plus 5% national taxes. Increases the cost of more stability. So if you try to bump your stability up, it gets more and more expensive as you do it.
I like the minus yearly corruption, since we were worried about that anyways, and I like the increased national tax modifier, of course.
Yeah.
So I kind of don't mind a little bit more stability. I don't really want to fight 18 regiments of nobles right now.
Yep, and the way I look at it, honestly, if I'm just evaluating it, I look at negative, the +1 stability being worth more admin points than the other option, and the money's worth very little to me when comparing money to monarch points. So I'm going to choose the one that gives me 110 monarch points versus the one that gives me 50.
Okay, although our prestige is not... I mean, 5 prestige is a lot. If we're looking at... Well, I mean, okay, let me rephrase that. Our current income is 1 year gives us less than 1... It gives us half of prestige. So 5 of that is essentially, in that sense, 10 years of income for prestige.
You're talking about the change over time? Yeah, but the lower our prestige is, the more the number grows, too. Because as the number gets bigger, the decay gets stronger.
I'm going to make peace.
Make peace. Good. Do it.
Yeah. Right.
We've gained, there's our pop-up, by the way. So we did get an alert this way. We've gained the Support Rebels CB against England. So we actually, because we supported those Lawlord heretics, we can actually support them as a war goal now. So instead of just having Conquest, we actually do have Support Rebels as a casus belli that we could use.
Sounds pretty good.
But we're not going to do that because it's too risky. And the thing that I was complaining about earlier is notice that England is beating the snot out of the Pretenders. The army is in Glamorganshire right now.
Yeah.
He's marching on it with 31,000 troops versus 14.
Yeah.
He has good morale. The enemy has almost no morale, which means he's about to stack wipe it within a couple of days.
Wow.
So there goes the War of the Roses. It's already over.
Where did he get that many troops from? Why did he split his forces before attacking there?
He didn't really split them. He just didn't wait for them to stay combined. He marched both of them. He's an AI.
Okay.
He's not very smart.
Got it.
Still, this may cause him to be weak enough that England, that France attacks him on the mainland. Anything we can do, anything we can throw in his way that just makes him a little bit weaker is good. Let's go ahead and build a spy network against England again. I'm willing. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say we have our useless merchant doing nothing right now, so we should assign him. Yep. So.
Yep. And by merchant, you mean diplomat.
Yep, that's what I mean.
Yep. I just did it. I would be willing to spend more money supporting rebels for two reasons right now. Number one, I want to see if we actually do get power projection from supporting separatists, so that I can then go on the forums and bitch about how you don't get it for supporting heretics. Because that's ridiculous. We spent a lot of money. We should have gotten power projection. But yeah, the War of the Roses is already over, which is really sad. That means they have a new ruler. Henry York the 7th is in charge. He's a 611. They used to have the previous guy is really, really bad. He's a 000, one of the worst leaders in the game. He's a scripted bad guy because he's just like historically like a horrible ruler. So, yeah. If we want to,
what
we
is
can.
This -35% on the siege roll?
That means we have
just says 0.
We have a negative 35% chance of succeeding in the siege.
Okay.
Means we need to get 7 more ticks of siege status before we actually can have a positive chance to take the fort properly.
And our troops there at 3.2k.
Yep.
Do we need to devote another squadron over there? Another regiment? Excuse me?
So long as they're above 3,200, they can handle a disease outbreak.
All right. So they are, I guess, technically above 3,200.
Yeah, they are. Okay. So, okay, well, we could.
Probably gonna have to be it, right?
If we wanted to go to the ledger, yeah, we got to take a break. But if we wanted to go to the ledger, we could actually take a look and see exactly how much manpower England lost. He actually hired some mercenaries, which is useful to know. Again, press the L key, then press F3.
Yep.
Scroll down to England. You'll see he's got 5 mercenaries.
How do I see? Oh yeah, it says it. Mercenaries 5. Got it.
In a previous version of the game, the AI was so stupid that they would actually hire mercenary cavalry and mercenary cannons, which are insanely expensive. Now they are smart enough to only ever hire infantry mercenaries. So if you see 5 mercenaries, you know he's hired 5 mercenary infantry.
Got it.
So he has only 14,700 manpower. And if you press F1 right now, with the ledger still open, and then scroll down to England again, you can see his max manpower is 26,466. So he's at about half manpower right now. Okay. Also, he has a bonus to his max manpower of 50% because we're playing on hard AI. Thanks, Filthy.
Yeah, my pleasure, man. My pleasure.
Yeah.
We don't want to make this too boring for you.
All right, well, we're going to take a break here, but next episode we're going to end this war with Sligo. We're going to continue our rampage of the Irish miners and hope that England falls apart to either France, Burgundy, or some rebels. So,
or all 3.
Yeah. So we'll see you again in the next one. See you soon.
See you guys soon.